Welcome to the Polishing Profits Podcast, where we discuss all things related to the business of detailing. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. In each episode, we'll cover topics ranging from business management to marketing solutions. Here to help you grow your detailing business, your hosts, Nick and Dustin.
What's up, Dustin? Dustin Jackson.
That intro is lit, dog.
Yeah, great intro.
It is lit. Yeah, man. I'm traveling. I'm on the road again.
So if you go through a tunnel, this is gonna be a solo show, is what you're telling me.
It's gonna get odd. Things are gonna get weird.
You know what's weird is I'm on this side. I'm on a different side. You're on that's usually my side.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I don't like that. Yeah. I gotta remove the camera to over here.
I feel second over here.
You know what? Co-host the Dustin Jackson, the co-host,
junior host,
special guest,
the junior host. So I've spent a couple days in Atlanta in some development meetings, setting the roadmap for detail.
What does that mean? What does that mean, development meetings? Don't you know? It's just what is that? Tell us what you were doing over there.
Working with our web development team, marketing, and to set the roadmap. Like with software, right? Everybody has an idea they need it to do. Okay. Yep. Everybody that uses the software has this thing they want it to do, and
everybody wants different vehicles on the same ticket. Everybody.
Oh man, why are you bringing that shit up? So everybody has an idea, right? And we submit a ticket every time that happens. Every time there's a new idea, and we have thousands of them, right? Thousands of them. And so we have to once a year go through every one of those tickets and prioritize what we think we can do in 12 months. And that's called we set the roadmap with new features, with enhancements, with bug fix, things like that. So it takes 2 days, 2 8-hour meetings. So 16 hours worth of meetings, a lot of coffee, a lot of Celsius. A lot of Michelob Ultra after the meeting. To just kind of to get it laid out, because there's a lot of, you got to think. So developers, they want to work on server management. They want to work on the behind the scenes.
Stuff.
They want to make
sure that people don't want to.
Sales wants to see every feature request ever asked for done today. Marketing wants to know what the features that are coming so they can release them on time. And then myself, ownership, wants to know what features are going to make us money. And so there's a pull from every direction on what we think you should work on next. And so we have to prioritize that, and we basically draw out a quadrant, and it's high impact, low effort, low impact, we assign these task rankings, and then we prioritize them on what we think we can do in 12 months. So that's what setting a roadmap for software company looks like. You know
how many of our viewers, are detail bookie customers. Give them something. Give them something that's not released yet. Give them a
hell no,
Dustin. Come on, everybody. Terrible. You know what, Dustin? I'm upset as a detail bookie customer.
So something that they don't have, something that all of you guys don't have right now, that it's absolutely ready to go live to everybody, is Carfax. And so we came through our beta test. We're just needing a little feedback from beta. And then we're ready to flip the button and do a full-on feature release for it. The other thing that we are working on right now, where are my notes?
No notes. You just went through 2 16-hour meetings. You don't need notes.
All right, but by the time we got to the end, you forgot about the beginning. But something that we're working on cool is our support, our inbound support. Like when you need to talk to us. Right now, it's all over the place. Some people go to Facebook groups. Some people go to our private Facebook group Messenger. Some people text me personally. Some people text our CRM. Some people email support. People call in Zoom. Some people call in CRM. Some people text Madison.
Call the Dustin Jackson.
You call the Dustin Jackson. Where's my thing? Right
there. The Dustin Jackson. What is it? This way? Oh, right there.
Yes. There. Anyways, so we are building in a platform to communicate with us through one roof. So when you submit a ticket, you can kind of understand that it's being worked on, especially bug fixes. We are prioritizing bug fix now. where we kind of shook those things through, but like we want to be on top of that stuff much faster. So a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff coming. We're actually our development now, new feature development, we're excited about because we were held up on that for so long, and now we're back at it, and we got some really cool stuff coming.
Well, the nice thing is, listen, people watching, they see you. You're doing the work. It's not like just, hey, Detail Bookie is what it is. It's just going through that process of getting better and listening to the people. You know what I mean? Like, that's important. People want to hear that. People want to see that.
It is, and you know, everybody has great ideas, and like, you know, it's like it's if we had 100 developers, like we would never miss one. Like as soon as you needed something, it would be out there. But we have to prioritize things and like what makes the most impact for the most amount of people, right?
Yeah.
If I need to change one line on my booking site, one color, like how, like we want to do that for you.
I wish we could go blue. Splash
what do
blue.
we stop building in order to do that? Do you want me to stop with our QuickBooks integration to go change your line color? Because if we're working on that, we're not working on this. And so that's the juggling act. That's project management 101, is to try to keep everybody happy. And it's very tough, but that's what we do.
That's a losing battle. But let's rope it into detailing, right? So think of that. Like you said, project management. You know what else you got to have a lot of management with? Employees. Yeah. So you want to, that's just management in general. So I think we got a really cool show today. What do we got today, Dustin?
Yeah, we do. I mean, the next step in $1 Million Detail Shop, we talked about having happy customers, building that solid foundation of happy customers. Mm-hmm. Well, the next thing you got to do is you got to have employees to manage that happy customers. And I'm not saying, you know, a lot of this is not to say you got to have hundreds of employees or 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever. But at some point, you're going to want to grow, right? If we're saying that we want to build a business that's scalable, that's more than just us, that's going to include employees at some point. And the most common thing I hear from detailers about hiring is, I can't trust anybody to do as good of a job as I do. You know, how do I know they're not going to tear something up? How do I know they're not going to burn through some paint? How do I know they're not going to take something out of the car? And the answer is you don't, and they will.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Just like you burned some paint, just like you vacuumed up some earrings, just like you have made a mistake, they as well are going to make a mistake. Now, so once you understand that concept, you have a job to do, is to create an environment where they're not scared to tell you when that happens. Yeah. So like you didn't start out the best detailer, believe it or not, you know, against all popular belief, you weren't born a great detailer.
Some people are. They're just they just come out the womb with a polisher in hand and they just knock it out.
Right. Yeah,
Where do you find those guys?
I don't know. I've never hired one. But you made mistakes. You learned. You figured stuff out along the way, as will your employees. Your team is a direct representation of you. So if your team sucks, guess what? You suck. And you take ownership in that. Everybody will say, well, I'm the best and nobody can do it as good as I can. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? If you can't go teach somebody to replicate what you do, then you're not that great at it anyway.
Well, you got to remove the ego. You know what I mean? Like, you just remove the ego from it. And I think the biggest thing, like you said, once people get to there and they understand that, hey, removing that ego and understanding it's not about best detailer. It's not about them worried about what if they don't show up today or what if they're taking something out of the car. It's just not about that. And you're able to remove yourself to the third person and say, I want to build an employee infrastructure. That's what you're doing. What is that process to build it?
What makes you the best detailer? The fact that you can polish paint better, or the fact that you can teach 1,000 people to polish paint better?
You know what's really interesting is what I've learned, and detailing is skilled labor. I think that's very fair.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
The boss is not the head detailer. The boss is not the Dustin Jackson. Who's the boss is the customer. Yeah. So even if that person is not the best polisher, but they do a good job and that customer is happy, is that detailer, should they be reprimanded because it's not to the level of the Dustin Jackson? No. I truly believe anyone, whether, again, we have a dog grooming salon, we've got, skilled labor on both sides. I'm not their boss. You know what I mean? We don't have any drama. It's not like one detailer is looking over the shoulder of the other. We have quality checks, but your goal is to interact with that customer, right? You ask them that one question of, hey, what is that thing that's really important to you? Make sure you do that. And then do your absolute best to give them the service that they want. And if you do that, they're going to keep getting better and your business is going to be able to grow.
You know what scares me the most when
I don't want to hear your nightmares, Dustin. What do we got?
When somebody says, I'm the only person that can do that in this business, I'm the only person that can do that. Because when you say that, first of all, as an owner, and you say, I'm the only person that do that, well, then you were the only person that will ever do that. And that means you're trapped to whatever that thing is. Second of all, what happens when that person's not there? You or the owner or an employee? Like it doesn't make you better to be the only person that can do something. It doesn't create job security. Like it doesn't. Having everybody around you with the ability to do anything that needs to be done is strength and power. That shows that well-trained individuals and not scared. Like we always have the glass ceiling at EZN, and we want to say like you should be training. It should be like there is no top tier anything. There's always another step. Okay. So you should always be training your replacement because there's always some better position ahead of you. Yeah. Always. Until somebody
really cool in the detailing industry, like you said, with the glass ceiling, right? You don't want someone to just feel like they get stuck, bored. You know, when you've got someone that's hungry, give them that mobile unit, freedom, scheduling, commission, give them the PPF, learn a new skill. You know what I mean? Give them these different tools that they can grab, learn, and be in an environment that they're happy there. They're working, they're detailing, they're happy where they're at, but they want to learn more. They don't want to feel set. They want to be able to earn more. You know what I mean? And creating those opportunities is our number one priority.
You know when assembly lines worked? Do you know when that worked?
The Henry Ford assembly lines you're talking about, or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one assembly line, and it worked when the internet wasn't a thing. When you couldn't see other people.
You're dating yourself, Dustin. The internet's always been.
I was there.
All of our users, the internet has always been there. So
it worked.
I'm following.
It worked then because people couldn't see other people doing other things, and you could say, "Hey, do this thing repetitively. We're going to pay you great," because they didn't know what else was going on around them. Now the workforce, the younger generation, sees every opportunity in front of them. Yeah. So you have to create an environment where it's attractive and where it's not assembly line work. We're not just coming in here to squeeze this trigger every day. Okay. And so it's your job to cast that vision and to encompass them into more than just what that is right in front of them. Because who wants to go work in an assembly line? Who wants to be a robot?
Remember, keeping that the culture and the team environment. You want to talk about employee management. The culture starts with the top. Right. Do they have that connection? Right. When's there, right? The little things. Do you go that extra mile for the people that work for you? That's option one. But option two is, again, I've got 2 locations. You know what I mean? I'm at 6 different places every day. I'm not able to be there every minute of every day. And neither are you. You're on the road. It looks like you're spinning in circles over there. You're driving in circles.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
But when you're not there, is that culture still there? You
Absolutely.
Know what I mean? Is that culture of people wanting to be there and work hard and do a good service for good people? That's really what it's about.
I got a text a while ago, and it's from our QC manager asking all the other detailers if they were down to go to Aztecas for lunch, right?
I wasn't.
And so like the culture's there. Like that's totally a thing that we love to do. And it's like, we want to bring everybody together. So let me tell you this, you're competing, when you think about competition, most of us think another detailer down the road is competition.
Okay.
Well, within that, competition is also another business that's hiring from the same pool of people you are. So in our area, it's the steel mills. A common job for people out of high school that don't go to college is to go work at the steel mill. They pay 6 figures. It provides a good living. It's a livable wage, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's the thing though. We have to focus on, so that's our competition, right? We're hiring from the same pool of people. We have to say, what do we do different? All right. So we hyper focus on things like, we're not a swing shift. We're Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 or 7:30 to 4:30. we can do things that they can't do. So we can do things as a group. The steel mill can't take 4,000 employees on the boat for a booze cruise.
You never know.
They can't afford it.
They could.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
It'd be a big boat.
It'd be a big boat.
Detailed by Easy N.
They can't be as personable. They can't take the group and experience these things that we can as a small group. They can't load everybody up on a Greyhound bus and take them to the Nappies and celebrate, right? Because it's just not feasible. So we hyper focus on the things you can do. And you maybe say, well, Dustin, I only have a couple employees, or, I can't do all that. Take them to lunch. Yeah. Involve them in things together. Invite them over to your house to grill some steaks. Yeah. Buy them a couple beers. Like, do the things that your competition can't do. Walmart, Sam Walton can't go buy his employees beers.
Yeah.
Or steak. Like, that's not happening. So when someone thinks about leaving me for a steel mill, I say, okay, no problem. I hope you like swing shift. I hope you like working Saturdays and Sundays. I hope you like not being able to do these other things that we can provide that cost us minimal. It's not always about the dollar. It's about what is the experience? What is the opportunity that lies in front of them?
Well, I kind of call that like the employee life cycle, because you're going to have some people that go the opposite way and they do the steel mills first and they don't like certain parts of it, right? And then they like cars, or they want to, they like detailing. They want to try something new. You know what I mean? So you're going to get, again, like you said, there's two different categories of candidates, right? A possible employee out of the high school, like you said, or someone that's already in the workforce that has seen the other side. And now you're just making sure you're letting them know, hey, what do you like and what do you not like about the last job? The stuff you like, we can do. And the stuff you don't like, we don't do. And guess what? People don't like change. So if you're able to give them those things and they're happy, they don't want to leave. Pay them well, do those things that are important. But if you're doing those things that are important to the individual, now the hard part is, as you scale, different things are important for different people. Some people want a more flexible schedule. Some people want a different workload. You know what I mean? Some people don't want advancement and just want peace so they can work on their music, right? Have hobbies outside of work that are more important to them than the work. And that's okay. Absolutely. So just trying to figure that out. I think it's a really cool dynamic. It takes a lot of time and experience to really nail it down, but it takes repetition,
It does. And it takes understanding the value that you bring as the owner and what can you do to encompass them in that. And it's like, okay, what do I enjoy doing? And maybe all I do enjoy doing is work, but like, you got to find something outside of that you can include them in. And here's the thing. I just left a detail shop a while ago in Atlanta, and they had some young guys, and they're hiring the young guys that are working in college. And the best part about that is, and this is what I explained it to them, is, we kind of all start there hiring because you don't have 40-hour commitments all the time. And most of the time, if you're slow and you need to send somebody home or not have somebody work that day, they're happy. They're not mad about it, or you're not taking food off their table. When you start hiring and paying livable wages, and you're responsible for people's families, like sending someone home because business is slow is really, really bad. It's really detrimental to their income. Yeah.
Just the easy layup that you just gave me is, think of yesterday, we had a full rain day, right? We scheduled our photo shoot for Detailers Roadmap, full day, ordered pizza, no cars coming in. It was like a thunderstorm, but we had people there and they were excited. They were in the photos. They were, excited versus just being at home, not getting paid. We kept it completely voluntary, whoever wanted to come in, and it was, it was a real positive experience. That is something that they're going to see and be on the website, and they're excited about it. And it's just, I don't know, it's really just comes down to that top, me, you, and caring. I'll give you one. We're redoing some stuff at the wash there. I've got a tile guy there, right? I'm there at 7 with a coffee and a Boston cream. I'm freaking tired as hell today, bro. You know what I mean? I've done that every day this week for him, right? Because that's his favorite. Right. My tile guy, Gregory, shout out, I do. And again, I'm there at 7. I'm up till 2 a.m. playing basketball, like 5 hours of sleep, but I'm going to do that because I care. And then all of a sudden, there's a box of donuts for the guys, and they see these little things. I'm not expecting anything from it. It's just what I want to do,
That's right. Yeah. You're setting the tone. People see that commitment. One of the next things that we hear a lot is when to hire, and this is twofold. I'm going to give you a kind of an explanation, a visualization of it, and then I'm going to tell you that just ignore that, and here's reality. So
let's go through the roller coaster. Give it to me, Dustin.
Visualization is the rubber band effect, and what this means is when you have a rubber band and you pull it apart, and all the tensions in the middle. This is when business is really good and payroll's down, and you're making a lot of money, but all the pressure is on the employees. It's on the staff to get all this work done, right? And you got everybody overloaded, and everybody's trying to work, like we're trying to get overtime, but just keep it minimal, and we're just working our tail in the ground. Okay, right before that rubber band breaks is what time it's higher, and then it comes back in, and then the pressure, it comes back to the company, because now the company has to find more work to feed that engine. And that employee has to be trained and has to be brought up to speed, and there's some inefficiency times in that. And so now the company is paying for that. And so it's this vicious cycle of in and out, right? Of hire and then train, and then now we're productive, and then we got to hire again. All right, that's the visualization, but that's not really the case, because you just don't know, right? You can't tell the future, and you can't look back at the past. Like you got a basic assumption that we're going to be busy in the spring, slow down dead middle of summer, be busy a little bit at the beginning of fall off in December. All right, that's the roller coaster. All right, so here's the thing, though, is when you need someone the most, that's when you cannot find them. So you can't wait till it's time to hire, to start looking. I treat hiring like recruiting. I am always looking.
Yeah.
I'm on the hunt.
Dustin. You see Dustin. You run. You got to run. He's coming for you.
I'm recruiting, dude. I'm recruiting. Everywhere I talk, everywhere I go, anybody I talk to, I'm looking at you going, what could you do with us? And it's not for me. It's with us. And where could you fit in? And how could you be great with us? And how could you make us great? And so, like, when that opportunity comes, like when I always reference like the busboy at the Mexican restaurant, or that, dude, I can't tell you how many people I've watched, in restaurants that are hustling bartenders, hustling waiters, hustling busboys, whatever, bus girls. Those are the ones I'm watching. I've hired people straight out of the gas station, work in the gas station, like the ones that have the most energy. It has nothing to do with skill. We can teach you how to squeeze a trigger and hold a handle. That's all polishing basically is, right?
Yeah.
I can teach that all day long. What I can't teach is the energy and what you bring to the team. And so when I find that, when I see someone that's driven, that's hardworking, that cares, that's always doing a little bit extra, that's who I'm hiring, and I'm planting that seed every time I see them. I'm planting that seed. Oh man, you been up to my store? You ain't seen our store? You know what all we do up there? You don't know, do you?
Talk it up a little bit.
Oh man, let me tell you about it. Let me tell you what we do. And you're piquing that interest, just planting the seed and come back, say, hey, I want to sit in their section. I want to sit in her section. And then I sit over there and I'm like, hey, you been by my store yet? No.
How many times have you sat in that section?
Recruiting. Man, as many times as it takes.
Let me flip it a little bit, because I do it similar but different, right? Okay. I like the word recruiting because we're recruiting all the time, right? But I think in a little bit of a different way, right? We use Indeed, and we're constantly taking applications no matter what. And I'm constantly making sure there's time in my schedule for interviews instead of having other people do them. You know what I mean? That is one part, no matter how big you are, how many employees you have. Knowing the people in your company is top priority. I take a lot of pride in knowing everybody there. So when you're there and you're doing that recruiting, and it's a little more passive because we just get that trickle of content. And we're there and making sure that we have the time to talk to them. But versus a rubber band, it's always a shoe, right? You're just going to have a size shoe, one size, two sizes too big. Sometimes I go too far. You know what I mean? And that's where I learn, and I sort of try and gauge it the best I can. But we're always just going to make sure we've got more people than we need, because you've been there. I've grown up there. Anyone that's been watching, how much it sucks when you got 6 cars and you got someone not showing up. You put yourself in their shoes. I'm going to make sure that we're staffed fully and have a plan A, B, C, and D.
Yep. And payroll is too high when it feels like when payroll feels like it punched you in the mouth. That's when you got too much.
It always feels like it punched me in the mouth.
Me too. That's rough.
I got payroll today. You know what I mean?
So our payroll process is on Wednesday, and it transactions today. So same, but we got punched in the mouth on Wednesday. So
it starts healing a little bit by Friday.
Look, we had trimmed down. We were in the 40s, and we went all the way down to about the mid 20s, and I swear we're back up to probably 38 or so. And that payroll is brutal. But they're cranking out some work too. I gotta give that shout out to my team. They are. I feel good about it. I feel good about everybody on staff.
I would rather. Let me put it this way, Dustin. With the employees, I would rather have it my job to bring in more work than having not enough guys and too much work.
Amen.
Let it fall on my shoulders. Let it fall on your shoulders to bring in more products, bring in different services, do some more training, continue to improve. You know what I mean? That's on my shoulders. I would love to do that versus not having enough guys and me having to jump out there. That's just not efficient.
Well, the reality is when you have to do it, that's when you'll do it. So if you have to have the work, that's when you do it. If you don't have to, you're very passive in sales. One thing that I always hear, and this will kind of be the last thing that we talk about in employee relations, is compensation and incentives, right?
What
it's
do
a
we
big
pay
thing.
them? What do you, right?
Yeah. Do I pay them by the hour? Do I pay them by the job? Do I pay them commission?
All the different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've tried every single one of them. I've tried every single one of them. And I've landed on a situation where we're paying livable wages, not salary as in like, they work by the hour, but it's livable wage. We creep them up. We do annual evaluations and try to do an annual increase of 10%. And we work with PTO. We have health insurance available. We don't pay for insurance, but we get a discounted rate that we pass along. But we also have implemented a profit share program. Last year, we didn't do a really good job about being profitable. We were kind of running a little heavy in expense, so our profit shares are down.
That's called a growth year. That's called a growth year.
Yeah. But everybody knew that, and then also when you talk about annual increase in payroll, then it deduces the profit, right? It takes down. So like that offset has to work together. But I am a firm believer in a profit share system done on a monthly basis, and that creates transparency between the business and the workforce. Because if you have to show your books to your team, it shows them that the power bill is real. It really is $1,500 a month. That the insurance is really $1,000 a month, whatever it is. I'm just throwing numbers, not a power bill. Power bill is $1,500.
We got a high power bill.
We don't show like individual wages, but you'll see detail wages, $7,000 this week, or $28,000 for the month, whatever that is. Office staff, like you'll see those things, and so they're like, oh, damn, there's a lot going on in this thing. So we may bring in $200,000 this month, but we spent $180,000 out, or $190,000 out.
What's a really cool balance that we've sort of been doing is it's really simple. It's supply and demand, right? And I'll talk a little bit about the dog side, a little bit about the car side. When you're really busy, right, and you're swamped, you got your book 2 weeks out on details, your book 2 weeks out on dogs, and people want your service, and they're your employees. No matter how many you bring in, you cap out, you max out. What goes up? Prices.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and then again, when those prices go up, first thing I do is I make it super transparent for everybody. We're going up as a company. You know what I mean? Let's get everybody company wide. You're right. Instead of doing those individual. Look, we've been busting our butt to build this customer base. We know what we're doing, new features, new products, new services, whatever it is, right? Great. We're going to take another step up. We're going to wipe out some of that bottom echelon of customers and continue to grow.
And that's exactly what we do annually. We take a look at our pricing.
Okay, now you say that's what you do. After I say it.
We did. We just went through a massive overhaul in automotive and marine packaging, and automotive is live. Marine is almost live, but because and then what we want to do is trim the packages that we're not selling, trim the things that we're not selling, and kind of clean that up some, so that annual increase in payroll can be offset. We look at our pricing annually. We do not increase it annually. We just increase. We increased 2 years ago.
We don't increase annually either. No.
Yeah, but we do revise it. We do look at it. We do trim packages that are services that we're not selling, and we try to add a new service every year. So
Are we just doing a little sprinkle of what's coming next week? Is pricing next week? I don't. What's number three? What's number three on that $1 million detail shop?
Yeah, Chris, help us out there. I don't. Yeah, I've only done it a million times.
That's Dustin, the Dustin Jackson.
I know. All right, what is it? Okay,
what's that next one? Just a quick peek.
Yeah. All right, scroll down, Chris. What's next week? Sales.
Darn it!
Sales.
I thought we just set it up perfectly. Never mind.
The ball's on the tee. We whiffed.
Yeah, we totally missed that one.
Listen, and this is probably the one that detailers suck at the most.
I'm terrible. Terrible.
I'm terrible. But I was, but I hired some people.
We need to find someone that isn't terrible and bring them on.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Anyone good at sales?
Mike Carlin's pretty damn good at sales. We bring Mike on.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get Mike on for some sales. No pressure, Mike.
We may bring Rob on, my sales guy there at the shop too. He's good.
He's new. He's the new one you were talking about.
He's new and he's crushing it. Dude, he's scheduled. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw his number out. He scheduled $18,000 on Wednesday in scheduled jobs.
Wow.
Yeah. And the week. I mean, so that's one day in scheduled jobs, and that's not like one $15,000 job. That's like a roll of jobs.
Think of the value for the people listening to say, "Hey, look, that Wednesday, what did Rob do? What was the process?" It's not about the dollars; it's about the process, right?
What did he do?
It's just,
Well, how about this? The fact that I even know that number is the number we track. Like, so if you're not measuring these things, how can you say today was a great day and today sucked? Like, there's performance indicators that tell you that.
If Rob is drinking green tea in the morning, you know what I mean? We're going to implement green tea.
Everybody's getting green tea.
What time does he take lunch at? You know what I mean? This is a very strategic, conversation we're going to have.
Love it. I think that's hilarious. So sales is going to be interesting. I look forward to having that conversation. We'll loop a couple people in if we can, and we'll just we'll talk about how that what that looks like, and our general thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about it. You drive safe there, Dustin. You're on the road. Those roads are crazy.
Anybody that's ever rode with me knows I don't drive. It's very. I need a chauffeur like Dustin. Yes, you do. I got a pretty hot one. Hang on.
Yeah.
There she is. What other comments?
Were you taking shifts? Were you guys driving in shifts? What's going on?
Yeah, we rotate. She drives mostly because I work while we drive. And it's safer that way. I'm a terrible driver.
Are you a bad driver?
I'm a really bad driver because I think that everything.
Admit it.
No, I think that everything else is more important than driving, and that's when I'm driving. So, I feel like everything else is that I have going on supersedes the fact that I'm driving, and so I'm just handling that shit too, and it's very scary.
You got your hotspot on. Look at the signal. Didn't even drop it. You guys were driving.
Got a machine. What other kind of comments do we have dropped in there? Any, Chris? Happy Friday. Let's get after it. Culture is key. Yeah, you mentioned that. Nick, and I think that's great, and it starts at the top, and you set the stage for that culture.
Yeah, you do too, Dustin. You do too.
Yeah, that's what we do, maybe. Brandon Lambert. Hang on.
Give him the high five there.
What's up, brother? We're traveling, by the way, to
there's Madison. Madison, good job on the post this week. Justice for Madison.
That was the when you asked me about the roadmap, we swear to secrecy because it never fails. It comes back to haunt us. You tell somebody something and they're like, "Oh shit."
People want to know. You want to hear transparency of the roadmap.
Hey, you want to hear the biggest blunder I've ever had in the software?
Yeah, let's hear it.
A couple years ago, we were hyped up about these features that we were working on, and so we sent out a mass text and said, "Hey, couple new features coming in the next few months. Heads up. Be ready."
Yeah, you have people banging down the door. You can't do that. Yeah, you learn.
One of them was QuickBooks integration, and it has been 2 years.
Yeah.
All right, but here's what happened. Prioritizing things when SMS went down. We had to shut down all build and focus on that. Well, we had just promised all these people that we were going to do that, and so it made us look like we were not doing the things that we said we were going to do. It was one of the biggest blunders I've ever done. And so we don't sell now on a vision, we sell on a product, and our product functions excellent the way it is. Like, you can use it, so what's coming in the future only makes it better, not what you need. What you need exists. What you want is what's coming.
Yeah. And keep that dream there. Just, and the thing is what people need changes. 1 second they want this, then they want something else.
Yep.
Yeah, you got your hands full there, Dustin.
Whoa, what you talking about?
Well, you're getting honked at.
Not me, Chelsea. All right, man. We're gonna jump. Oh, give a shout out to IGO. I'm going to their training event.
Tell them to do a training up in Chicago. We want an Aegis training up here. Tell them.
Oh, let's do it, bro. Consider it done. Consider it done.
I know you got some pull over there. Me and Sarah, we want to get down there for Aegis. I
know people that know people. Those are my friends: Joe LaPalm, Mike Carlin, Jeff, Marcus, all of them my buddies. So going up here, I got Tab in the back. She's probably asleep. Look at that. That's so sweet. Chris, somebody should screenshot this. Chris, get a picture.
That's terrible. You don't do. Anytime someone's sleeping in the back seat, you know what I mean. There's never a good position.
Chris, did you get that? All right, so anyway, so we're going up to this training to do a little Marine training. I got Tab. We flew Tab to Atlanta and picked her up. First time on a flight. She was nervous, but she's our head Marine detailer. She runs the 2 crews, along with running her own crew, and so she stays really, really busy. I'm super proud to have her with us, and going to be teaching some Marine detailing.
It's going to be fun. That's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
You guys are just on the road traveling. Just a couple of
bro.
Good stuff.
All right, man. I got
next week we got a good show, and we'll see you then.
See you, buddy.